Today on Dialed In DIY, we're going to show you a clean and easy way to cut glass bottles. You really only need a couple of tools, a glass cutter which you can get for a couple bucks at a hardware store or online, and a microtorch. I've tried several different ways of accomplishing this same thing, but this one has been the cleanest and easiest so far. The first step is using the glass cutter so you can score the bottle right where you want it to come apart. The key is to make a nice even score line all the way around, and I do this by making sure that I have the bottle rested against something on the side as well as the bottom. In this case, I'm actually using a miter box that I have clamped to my workbench. It serves great for a side and also allows me to rest it against the base of the clamp. To get a score line like the one you see on the bottle on the inset picture, I just hold good pressure with one hand and then turn the bottle with the other. That scratching noise you heard was exactly the sound you want to hear when you're making a good score line. We want the bottle to come apart at that line, and in order to do so, we're going to slowly heat it up using the microtorch and rotate the bottle, allowing the flame to touch just on that line. I'm starting with a medium flame on the torch and the bottle a couple inches away. As it starts to heat up, I'll slowly bring the bottle closer to the flame, allowing it to get a little hotter a little quicker. You'll notice that the score line starts to show up a little clearer. You'll get a little bit of a white line, and eventually you'll hear a cracking noise. I've also found it's much better to ensure that the bottle is dry on the inside. If you have some fluid left and it's cold, when it hits that warm spot or the spot where you're heating up the line, it could cause it to fracture at a bad angle. I'm starting to get the bottle closer now, and this is where you want to be careful. The bottle's going to be hot, so you don't want to get burned. And you want to be careful because once the bottle comes apart, the edges of the glass may be a little sharp and you could get cut, so please be careful. As I'm rotating the bottle, you can hear me knocking it against the table a little bit. That's not as much intentional, but the little clinking, cracking noise is the sound that the glass is starting to come apart or separate on that line. This means you're real close and it's about to come apart. At this point, I'll start to pull gently away from both ends as I'm rotating it as well. And there you have it. It's really a pretty clean cut. In future videos, I'll show you some techniques for smoothing out the edges, as well as projects you can use for the parts that you cut off on the bottles, like the candle you see here. Thank you for watching. Please press like and then subscribe. There will be more Dialed In DIY to come.